Welcome back to Check This Ish Out with Ash and Tam. I'm Ash.
I'm Tam.
And we're excited to have you all listening today. We are just we're going to be talking about establishing relationships or relationships after divorce, relationships after, I don't know, long-term dating, short-term dating or whatnot, just establishing those relationships and whether or not they're even necessary. Before we begin, just I'm just gonna check up on my homegirl. How was your day today?
Fabulous, darling. Absolutely fabulous. How's your day, honey?
My day was pretty good. It was I want to say it was productive, but kind of sort of,
You don't think it was productive?
Huh?
You don't think it was productive?
It could be more productive. For example, I had my alarm clock set. I usually get up every morning, with the grace of God. By 5 o'clock, I hit that snooze button. Next thing I know, it was 8:31. I had a 10 o'clock meeting, and it takes me like 35 minutes to get there. So, of course, I didn't have a workout today. But yeah, I'm here. So,
Okay. So what we're talking about again?
relationships after, establishing a relationship with your ex, whether it's your ex-spouse, your ex-significant other, ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. All right. Just jumping it off. I believe in certain situations, having or establishing that some type of relationship after a divorce or breakup is necessary when you have kids. And that's just my opinion. Some people would say, well, what if you were friends before, you were intimate? Well, I mean, that's your choice. But my opinion is when you have kids, at least from the beginning, that a relationship is necessary. Yeah. So, I guess
So I don't know
if she's
if break and want me to chime in or what, because I'm still like, so we're pretty much just focusing on the relationship after a divorce or after a breakup when you have kids and kids are involved, because I, I don't see a reason to establish a relationship, with just a ordinary ex that you don't have any ties with anything to link y'all together, because most people don't. That's like unconsciously, either you are continuing to be cool or cordial or you don't in regards to those types of relationships. But when you are exiting a relationship that has kids involved, of course, we as adults, as mature, responsible adults, we have to set some type of boundaries and have some type of relationship.
Right. That's my stance. I'm like, only when, in my opinion, when you have children, involved, because you're gonna be connected for the rest of your lives when you have kids. You're gonna be connected some type of way.
That's right. We family forever. That's what I had to tell my ex. I mean, I can't stand him, but the truth is, we're still family.
Right. Whether you want like it or not, you still family.
Right. And sometimes we don't pick and choose who's in our family. And once, we thought this was the person for us and we got married, and lo and behold, it's not. We just stuck with the family member now.
I think this is one of those cases where you did choose.
I said we chose at first and it wasn't the right one.
Right. It don't always turn out the way you have planned or hoped for it to. So we both agree. Well, we've concluded that it's necessary when you have kids. So right. So it's best that there's a healthy relationship, And when you have kids, it's a co-parenting relationship, right? Well, it should be a co-parenting relationship when you have kids. That's the only type of relationship that should be established.
Some people still go with the full boy. They still do that extra stuff too.
Do extra stuff.
You know what? As a matter of fact, so my whole deal is like after the divorce or the ending of the relationship, the separation,
Mhm.
do you still keep photos of your ex around, like on
No,
refrigerator doors
on
or
the
in your
refrigerator.
bedroom
Somebody you got to see every day. Every time you go to the refrigerator, you see in their face.
or like in your bedroom?
They must not have a
Like
significant
their
other.
excuse actually was my kid is in the picture. I'm like, you have thousands of other pictures of your kids.
I think there's
Why
some
keep pictures?
lingering. I think there's some lingering residue of some type of emotion or feeling that you should only have when you're with that person, or sometime soon after the separation.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on this too with Kevin when he had joined us one day. Like, get rid of those dang on pictures, man. What for? Why are you keeping your kids are in the
Yeah,
picture? Okay, so you have other pictures with your kids in, so why keep that one? Um,
I might be taking it a little bit far here. Maybe it's a stretch, but I'm thinking if you're willing to keep somebody's photos around, you willing to be go further physically, be intimate with that person. If
maybe.
push came to shove, huh?
Okay. So what are some of the limits
Okay,
of interactions with your ex?
okay. So I'm gonna separate this into two different phases. First phase is when you yourself do not have a, or he or she, neither one of y'all have a significant other. Neither one of you have been married. Neither one of you are dating. So I think it's okay. For example, when I used to live in Phoenix, my son used to live in Phoenix with me. My son has to periodically go to the cardiologist. Okay. Initially, when neither one of us was dating, I would let my ex, sleep on the couch or sleep in my son's room. To me, that's okay. I mean, it was nothing going on, strictly platonic. But when he, started dating, um, or if I'm dating, that stopped. I just think that's a boundary that has to be set. You know, so that's just one example. Because number one, he can pay for a hotel room. um,
Hmm.
so that's just one example. Another one is again vacationing together. Again, if y'all are with y'all have
Wait a minute, what's wrong going on family trips with your kids
going
and
on,
your
I mean,
ex?
come on now. Now let's see. I mean, let's say trying to do some Will Smith, Will and Jada with his ex-wife, because they have a child together. They all take trips together. They all have Thanksgiving and stuff together. But that's different if me and my significant other together and those two are together. We want to take the kids to Disneyland or something. Then maybe.
That works for Will and Jada. That ain't
Right.
gonna work with me.
But what if you with your what if you with your man
I'm
friend?
cool. I'm cool enough with him, with my ex, but as far as taking family trips, no,
Yeah, I
no.
couldn't do it either. I couldn't do it either. I mean, now could I? Well, actually, could I? Yes, but would I? No.
It almost seemed like you reliving the past or missing out on something with this person. I don't want to feel that way, and I don't want that perception.
You're not fully moving on completely. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Um,
What did you say?
I think I don't know, the connection was bad. I didn't really hear what you had said.
Oh, I think you heard it all. I said, yeah, it's like you haven't completely moved on.
Oh, okay.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. So,
So,
and
what about? Hmm,
I'm sorry, I interrupted. What you say?
go ahead.
Discussing your new relationship with your old relationship, with your ex. I think that's a no-no. That's completely off limits.
Discussing your ex with your new.
No, discussing your new relationship with your ex.
Well, I guess it just depends on what type of relationship you have with your ex. If y'all are still cordial and friends and just a platonic friendship and nothing more, I don't necessarily see nothing wrong with that. That's just like us talking to just a male friend, period, about your your current relationship. But I would say first and foremost, though, talk to your new partner before talking to somebody else.
Correct. Now, I'm not gonna say like, well, I don't think no. The me and my ex have never done that. Only the problem I have with that is your ex shouldn't know things about your new man or woman. He shouldn't have anything on him or her. That's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, my ex-husband used to call me and talk to me about his girlfriends, and that didn't bother me one bit. And so that's why he was comfortable with talking to me in regards to it. And he knew that I wasn't that crazy type that'll try to hold something against this girl. I trust him enough to know that he won't, introduce my boys to some psycho crazy woman. So I think he has pretty good judge of character to prevent that. So yeah, we talked about it, and I kind of like introduced, some guys, not introduced them, but just talked about some of them to him, and it was nothing.
It's just like it's not about me feeling uncomfortable with him talking to me about other women because I mean he's done that. He did that before with previous girlfriends because we had that type of relationship, that type of friendship. But of course, that type of stuff it changes when you get in a serious relationship, and I just
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want my new if I if I started dating, and I wouldn't want my new friend to be in the dark on what my ex knows about him because I wouldn't want to be in that position. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't like, I mean, just like with friends or close family, I wouldn't say anything about bad about this person,
that you and want,
knowing that, hmm
yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't give anybody the ammunition to um
That's why you
feel
da
any
da
type
da da
of,
da da da. Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
yeah. I've learned a long time ago not to put family and friends in your business like that,
child, child.
unless you just know that you won and you moved on. Then we
Right,
can talk crap together, right?
right, because they ain't
Then
gonna forget. Because they ain't gonna forget when you tell them that ain't they are not going to
you
forget.
don't forget it. Right.
Right. And something else I really wanted to point out. Um, so what if whenever you get a new husband, fiance, boyfriend, man friend, whatever you want to call them, significant other, and they're like, I don't really like your relationship, your how close you are with your ex.
I've never been in that situation.
I mean, me either.
Well,
I'm
I
saying
had
like,
one to accuse me of still having something going on with my ex, and I'm like thinking like, dude, you tripping. You insecure, or you got something going on, or you trying to, sabotage this relationship. And so
what would make him
I
think
don't
that?
buy into that. I don't buy into that crap. And then too, it's not like I won't even bring up my ex's name or anything about my ex unless the conversation comes up and he brings up something about his ex or something. I don't know. I just don't voluntarily bring up my past
So
with anybody, actually.
Tam, I have to admit, like I'm guilty sometimes because I can get so comfortable with a person and I'm such a free, open book that if the conversation fits or if something that like just popped in my mind, I will bring it up. So I can see if somebody will misconstrue or misunderstand or interpret me and my their perceived feelings for my ex because I don't like him like that. And once I have it in my mind that I moved on. So I could see how they could think that. But I'm just an open book, and I try to work on that, but.
Okay. So I'm going to get off the subject a little bit. We are random.
Okay.
So you said that you are an open book.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that like with some people they will think that you send it this she's just an open book, no secrets, and like it's like a tell all. Like you can't keep anything, you're not very loyal or trustworthy. But then on the other hand, if you got somebody more like on the, I wouldn't necessarily say quiet, but have trust issues like me, they would say, oh, she's so what's the word?
Secretive,
What it's sneaky,
sneaky.
sneaky. And I'm like thinking like sneaky because I don't let people in my business. I don't talk my business. Is that what we call sneaky?
Well, let's address the first one.
Or an open book, somebody that can't be trustworthy?
So yeah,
What people come up with that from?
let's address that one. So open book, I would think opposite. If you open book, this person is pretty honest. She's transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say
Mm-hmm.
open book, I'm not saying talking business that I don't want people to know. I'm just saying, like, I feel comfortable enough to um let somebody know me, let somebody in my world, not like tell my business that I don't want people to know. So I would look at it like, oh, she's transparent, she's open, she's honest. Now,
Yeah, that's something too that I struggle with too. It's not like I want to just be an open book and just tell all to some people, and then it's like, man, I just open up to you and just letting you in my life, and now we're not working. Now I'm on to the next one. Now I'm sharing the same information with this new person, just letting you
selective,
like into
selective information. So it's selective information. That's the key.
selective transparency.
So
Is
no,
that a term?
no. I say people can perceive it as being transparent. Now, my deep, dark, my secrets or my vulnerability, yeah, I'm going to be selective in that initially.
So how much information is too much information or not enough?
It depends on the person that you give the information to, or it depends on if it's information that can harm you, that somebody can use against you. You know. Now, as far as it was a twofold question. So as far as the person who's not saying much or somebody can perceive them as being sneaky, no, it's just that looks like somebody who wants to trust you first. Now, I'm too trusting to a fault sometimes. That's why I can, feel comfortable in talking. Now, someone who is pretty much reserved and not talking much, to me they're saying that, look, I got to trust you before I can be vulnerable with you, and I don't have a problem with being vulnerable. So that's just the way
Go
I look.
ahead, Sister Girl. Go ahead, Sister Girl. You just summed it real nice.
So anything you
Yeah.
want to add to that? I don't know,
Mm,
sometimes I just amaze myself.
mm,
um
mm. Okay. So these relationships with the ex, um, how how about those, I would say boundaries with the ex, or is it acceptable or not to have family dinners?
I will say this just from a personal experience, growing up being in a family where, my parents were divorced. Um we sometimes my dad would come over when we would have Thanksgiving, and my mom's, my stepdad would be there, and all the kids would be there, other family be there, and and it was nothing. It was nothing to us. I
I
think
ain't talking about Thanksgiving dinners and stuff when the families are like blended. I'm talking about like just like on a family night, date night, like type with your kids or kid.
well, honestly, I think that depends on how the relationship is with the parties. If they don't get along, if there's some tension there, if there's some insecurity there, no. Every night, no. Every other night, no. Once a month, maybe. if somebody just randomly invites somebody over, hey, I'm cooking, because I've seen it. My mom has told my sister, hey, call your dad, tell him I'm 16, da 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 da. He can come by and get it, you know. Or
Girl, let me find out. Let me find out somebody I'm dating and they still having these dinners and crap with their ex, like going out on, I would call it a date with your
going
kid.
out to dinner, HELL, no.
That's what I just
I
said.
thought you
I
said
said, how
coming
about
over,
having
like to
dinner?
family dinner, coming over to family
I
dinner.
ain't talking about like no Thanksgiving meal when everybody and their grandma and uncle come over.
You talking about going
I'm
out?
talking about like,
Going out? No, 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 no. That's an H no.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I couldn't hear
Okay,
you
I can hear you.
earlier. It was like for a split second. But going out to a dinner, no. That's an H no. Why? We going? Are we going? She need to talk to you
It's
about it.
H no, girl. Why can't you just say hell? Hell no.
I can, but I just like saying H sometimes. Let me be
H
me.
for what? Hey no.
Heck no.
Heck no.
Heck no. But yeah, I think that's no. I think that's what I call playing with fire. Because at the end of the day, we're human. And I wouldn't want to take any chance of rekindling anything. You know, my new man and his ex. No.
So I would say that goes along with taking family vacations.
Family vacations for what? That's what I would ask
Will
her.
and Jada do it, remember?
But that's Will and Jada, because guess what? She was with her husband and he was with his wife. Now I could try that, but it's not something I'm gonna be like, I'll do it, you know, we can go on this couples thing. No.
Man, let me find out somebody I'm dating.
Well, they said, but we just so close. We were friends before then, and our daughters or our sons
I
want us
don't
to
care.
go want us to go all together as a family. What if they say that? I mean, you be against it? I don't know. Huh? So it looks like Tam's video is tripping right now, but that's fine. So what you say?
I the whole minute or whatever, I heard nothing.
No, it wasn't a minute. It was some seconds. It was some seconds.
Okay. It
So
felt like a minute.
oh so real quick, since we are having some brief issues, let's kind of try to wrap this up. All right. So I will say this though, real quick. So with my ex, he is an attorney, and there are some things that I will consult him about. Um, so that's really the only interaction we have outside of our son. So I just think that certain things you're not going to be
I
able
don't think that's bad. I
huh?
don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad because, like, we all have a lot of ex that we, can call up and be like, "Hey, what's your advice on this? What's your take on this?" And
Right,
just sorting through professional shit, not anything personal.
right. So I will have to say that anytime you're dealing with somebody that has an ex, you have to be secure in yourself. There has to be trust. Um, but each one of you have to remember not to play with fire, to think about the other person, think about the next person whenever
I promise, I'm like a different type of fire.
well, let's just hope you don't meet an extinguisher one day. That was good. That was
No, it was pretty corny, but it was funny.
good. So
Yeah.
with that being said, um,
You know what? With that being said, yeah, we were throwing some shots.
you may have been, not me. But
You were.
girl, anyway, y'all, we thank y'all so
But
much.
it's relatable to a lot of people, though.
Huh?
It's relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's more than we talk about it.
you're right. And you know, I will say I was in a relationship one while, and this guy told me that I kind of like you, that he didn't think I was over my ex. I'm like, man, I am. It's just that, as I said before, I'm just free in talking, you know. And you would think that it could also go the other way, you know, that, oh, I feel comfortable enough and I'm comfortable with him. And that means I think you're secure enough, you know, that we can
Mhm,
talk.
mhm. That's
But
right. I
um
don't think they see it that way, though.
no, they don't. People are easy to look at the negative side of things before the positive side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Let's see. You I don't have anything for y'all tonight as far as a positive quote, but um I can read a poem. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Read a poem. Go
Read
ahead.
a, read a poem, okay. So if y'all didn't know, I'm a hopeless romantic. Sometimes I'm embarrassed to admit that. My son, who's
No,
only
you're not. If you were embarrassed to admit it, you wouldn't have admitted it now.
actually, that's why I said it with a smile. So when I smile,
Oh,
sometimes
I wasn't
I'm
you, my
uncomfortable.
bad.
Oh yeah. So when I
Yeah.
smile, it means I'm uncomfortable, or you know, I'm just happy. But that was in an uncomfortable smile. So as I was saying, my 11-year-old told me I was a hopeless romantic, and so I have to admit it if a young person could point that out. So here is a poem that I wrote a few years ago. Endless days of nothing and slumber. We laugh, we play, we talk, we dream. We talk, we wonder what is, what was, and what could be. Let us live in the moment, deeper than the occasional dance and rhythm we make, and more valuable than material desires. This is true intimacy. That's it.
You had planned that shit. You planned to read that.
No, I didn't. Look
Yeah,
at all my
whatever.
notes. Look at all my
Nice.
notes.
Girl, boo. Friends, thank you for joining us and listen to us ramble and talk crap and just relax and wind down after a long, eventful day.
This has been really random. Like, I think this is like truly random. All
It
right.
has.
Good night, Tam. Good night, everybody. Bye.